Welcome to the Percussion Studio at Olivet Nazarene University. I'm Dr. Matt Jacklin. I'm the Director of Percussion Studies, and we are so glad that you're here, both returning members and new members. We're a family here, and we all work together and grow in Christ and as percussionists and as musicians. We are blessed with such an amazing amount of ensembles and instruments that it's important that we all keep things running smoothly and the instruments working properly. That's the point of this video. It's a short instructional tutorial that ensures that all of the instruments in the ONU percussion inventory you will be able to learn how to safely handle and make sure that all of the instruments are working properly for everybody. All of the percussion instruments in the ONU inventory have a protocol to move them safely to ensure that they stay in a high quality for a long time. Whenever possible, keyboard instruments should be moved by two people and with the cover on. Sometimes this is not possible, of course, and if you are moving by yourself, make sure you are pushing the instrument instead of pulling it, and lift each side individually over door frames. Glockenspiel should always be moved with the cover on. When moving it on a stand, grab opposite sides of the stand to move it safely. Chimes and bass drums should be moved by grabbing only one side and moving parallel to the direction you are going. Timpani should be moved by the struts, the brown parts that you see, never by the rim. When not moving within Larsen, cymbals need to be moved in a bag. Examples of this could be taking it in your car or moving it from Larsen to any of the fields where the marching band or other symphonic ensembles rehearse. Olivet is blessed with a wonderful inventory of keyboard percussion instruments, including several rosewood xylophones and marimbas. Rosewood is very fragile, so we need to be very careful how we handle it. Try not to touch the instruments, and definitely don't set anything on the instruments other than your mallets. This could be other instruments, or even iPads or folders that you may be using in a band rehearsal. Rosewood instruments should never go outside other than a brief moment to move from the hallway into the band room. Always keep the instruments covered when you're not using them, and make sure to recover them after you're using them. While you are using the instruments, do not let the covers touch the ground. Acceptable mallets on the marimba include any yarn-covered mallet with a rubber core, and in rare cases an unwound soft rubber core mallet. If you are unsure whether an unwound mallet is okay, consult a staff member. Unacceptable mallets on marimba include hard rubber mallets, plastic xylophone mallets, brass bell mallets, phenolic bell mallets, and drumsticks. The best mallet for vibraphone is a cord-covered mallet, which you see on top. Other acceptable mallets are yarn-covered marimba mallets and a soft rubber mallet. Unacceptable vibraphone mallets are the same ones that we discussed for marimba. Acceptable mallets for the xylophones are any plastic xylophone mallets of varying hardnesses. Unacceptable mallets are, again, the brass and phenolic glockenspiel mallets and drumsticks. Acceptable glockenspiel mallets are the phenolic mallets that we discussed before, occasionally xylophone mallets, which won't hurt the instrument but is good in some passages, and brass mallets, which you see on the bottom. Brass mallets, if you use for long practice sessions, can hurt the instrument, so maybe practice with other mallets and only use brass mallets in performance. Unacceptable mallets include drumsticks. Acceptable Cortali mallets are much the same as glockenspiel. Unacceptable mallets are drumsticks. Acceptable chime mallets include rawhide or hard plastic chime mallets. There are no other acceptable mallets to use on chimes. This is a picture of all of the acceptable bass drum mallets in our inventory. You can see that they are all marked with Tom Gager and Vic Firth. Unacceptable mallets are these mallets, which are tam-tam mallets. They can hurt the bass drum head very easily. Here's a picture of acceptable tam-tam mallets. Acceptable mallets on cymbals include yarn-covered mallets, suspended cymbal mallets seen on the bottom, or drumsticks. Unacceptable mallets are any glockenspiel or xylophone mallets and marching drumsticks. Almost any snare drum stick is acceptable on snare drums and concert toms, including any high-end snare drum stick made by Cooperman, Vic Firth, Innovative Percussion, or others. The only unacceptable stick is a marching drumstick. These should not be used on concert snare drums or concert toms. Tempo blocks are a fragile instrument. They can be played with rubber mallets, tempo block mallets shown in the middle, or yarn marimba mallets. Unacceptable mallets are any glockenspiel or xylophone mallet and drumsticks. However, the plastic tempo blocks are often played with drumsticks, and this is acceptable. There are many acceptable timpani mallets, including felt-covered and wooden mallets. Unacceptable mallets include any xylophone or glockenspiel mallet, and drumsticks, except for rare cases approved by the faculty. Checking out instruments is simple and necessary to maintaining our percussion inventory. Anytime an instrument leaves the building other than for a marching band rehearsal, it must be checked out using the instrument checkout form. A faculty member must sign this form and review what you are intending to do before you take the instruments out of the building, preferably several days before. When putting away cymbals, take particular care to not lose felts and washers. Keep them in your hand as you're removing the cymbal from the stand, and then put them right back on the stand so that they're only off of the stand for a brief moment. We all need to do our part to make sure that the percussion department runs smoothly by putting away instruments and hardware in their proper locations. When you are finished putting away instruments and hardware, make sure the doors and cabinets are locked behind you. Sometimes you may not be able to put away instruments due to a class conflict. Try to trade with someone else, perhaps by setting up early for them and asking them to put away your instruments later. All of these situations can be easily rectified. Thanks again for watching this short video. Please read through the entire instrument use contract, as there are a few policies and guidelines that were not covered in this video. Sign and return it as soon as you can, and we'll be ready to start making great music together. I can't wait to get started, and let's have a great year in the ONU Percussion Studio.